Hello, bad weather freak here. I have another quick video for you guys. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, and it is about noon right now. And I wanted to give you guys an update of what is happening with Tropical Storm Melissa. Tropical Storm Melissa continues to struggle. It is very slow intensifying. You could see that as a good thing or a bad thing, but obviously depending on the situation, the impacts on the track and then overall movement is gonna change. So for the past, since last night, it really hasn't done a whole lot as far as intensity. It is still sitting at about 1,000 millibars, so it has been slowly intensifying. Okay, now the big thing, or the big change, is that it has significantly slowed down to the point where it's literally moving at west northwest at 2 miles an hour. So it is very slow. And how I mentioned yesterday in the video, yesterday's update, basically the reason is because it's trapped between two high pressure systems and there's no steering current or steering pattern to basically drag it or pull it north or wherever it's going to go and move it. And that's what's happening. Now, consensus is on the forecasting models that it continues to move west. Since yesterday, every update, it has been the cone and the consensus in general of the spaghetti models and tracks. It keeps shifting west and west and west, to the point that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys a quick graph about the spaghetti models, and at this point, only one really. It has to going into Haiti. Everybody else, every other model, for the most part. Now we're gonna look at a few because you also have the ensemble models. And right now, because there's such a high uncertainty on the track and on the forecast in general intensity, the ensemble is the best option right now, because that's a group of members or group of models that give you a consensus basically. So right now, let me zoom in. Right now it is sitting at 14.4 north and 73.6 west, moving west northwest at 2 miles an hour. Like I said, 1,000 millibar. So literally it has been taking hours to just drop a millibar or two. And it has max sustained winds of 50 miles an hour, 50. Now, if I take a look, let me show you guys the cone. The cone drastically changed as of this morning, and it looks like a little ball because basically it's expected to just stay still for pretty much days and days, not a whole lot of movement. Now, the big change here is, as you guys can see, that Haiti, for the most part, is not even in the cone anymore. Now, I'm not saying this is not going to play. This is actually what is going to play out and not affect Haiti at all. But it is looking less likely at the moment. It's looking more like a Jamaica, potentially, well, not potentially, but Cuba landfall. It's what the consensus is right now. Now, again, like I said earlier, yesterday in my last video, consistently the models have been shifting west and west and west. Now, as of the 11 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, now it has it actually intensifying into a major hurricane, to up to 120 miles per hour. So that is a big change, obviously, from if you saw and go back into the past and see the actual 8 o'clock a.m. or 5 o'clock a.m. update. You're gonna see that it wasn't expected to do that, but now it's expected. And I'm gonna show you also basically a model that or a couple models, which are for the most part the hurricane models, are the ones that are showing, like the HMON and the halves A, halves B. Those type of forecasting models are the ones that are showing more of a lot stronger storm and more west than the rest, basically. So now that we got that out of the way, now let's take a look at the rainfall potentials for Jamaica, and even for even though it's not going to make direct landfall, it's still expected to continue to as it stalls, it's expected to continue to dump rain, and that's what is basically expected. But right now, you got rain totals of potentially 8 to 12 inches of rain, and as it gets closer to Jamaica, if it does, it's going to increase from there to all the way up to potentially 20 to 30 inches of rain. So that's something that is significant. It's going to cause some major flooding, potentially catastrophic flooding, how I said on my last video yesterday, depending on how close it gets to land and how long it stays there without moving. Because if the center it stays over water, that's what is going to cause that, basically, to continue to push more water and you know, cause some issues. But let's take a look at the satellite imagery. This is what it's looking like right now. So you guys can see it's pretty much just standing there. It's not really doing a whole lot. That's just barely moving, 2 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at the spaghetti models. How I said earlier, you guys can see that the spaghetti models basically have it. Only one model getting close to basically close to Haiti. The rest, couple shooting the gap, and then you also have multiple actually making landfall in Cuba. But again, we'll see about that. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty still, so we will have to see what is actually going to happen as far as the track and intensity. So we'll find out. But let's take a look at also let's go to the intensity guidance. More and more models are showing and potentially having intensified to a category 4, even category 5 hurricane. Again, may not happen. Let's take a look at the forecasting model. Well, right now the GFS is running, but as of right now, it has a still moving across Haiti, and I think it's probably like one of the very few models that is still having it doing that actually. But let's take a look at the Euro. The Euro has been more of a westerly track, so it has it as a 942 hurricane south of Jamaica. Then we have the Canadian. Canadian shows about the same, in the same location. The German model has it kind of doing a stalling and then almost shooting the gap between Cuba and Haiti. The hurricane models, the H1 shows, again, this is actually Jamaica on the north, and a 932 hurricane, that's a category 5. Halves A much further south from Jamaica, but a 902 millibar storm. That is extremely powerful. Take it with a grain of salt. And then you have the Has B, which it shows a 900, even lower pressure, also much further south in Jamaica. So with that being said, guys, again, there's a lot of uncertainty, unfortunately, but just keep an eye out. I would say if you guys are in Haiti, mostly Cuba and Jamaica, you guys need to be paying attention to this, because it looks like it may be heading your way. It all depends how the high pressure ridge on the basically on top of the southeast of the United States, so in the Gulf of Mexico, Florida. It all depends what happens with that particular system. If it breaks down, if it shifts, if it stays put, all those things are going to influence where the storm is going to end up at. But as of right now, it's basically struggling to intensify, and it's moving very slow, west-northwest at 2 miles an hour. I'll keep you guys posted. If anything changes later today, I'll make another video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you.